There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because when is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamarae. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, so come from earth we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to rob brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because when is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. And how about you? Master, master teacher, freedom for the 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 master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. Master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring it master teacher, bring it freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring it master teacher, bring it freedom for the master, master teacher, 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 freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do everything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Bring a master teacher. Bring a freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Bring a master teacher. Bring a freedom for the master. Master teacher, 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 freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on.
Freedom.
They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult.
Bring home now. Bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher. Freedom, master teacher. Bring home now. Bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher. Freedom, master teacher.
There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our
He's
opposition?
been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, freedom for the master. Master teacher, 'cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master. Master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master. Freedom. Master teacher. Freedom for the master. Master teacher. Freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher. Freedom for the master. Freedom. Master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring the master teacher, bring the freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring the master teacher, bring the freedom for the master, master teacher, 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 freedom for the master. Teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all, and for the truth the lies must fade away. It's been a long time coming, yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking, it won't be long to make our dreams come true, for a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher, freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring the master teacher, bring the freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring the master. for the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down, make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do everything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamarae. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters couldn't. Not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult.
Rahubat Moisar. Greetings, family. Once again, it's another one. We're live. OSM live stream. Share. Let everyone know we're here to let the world know about Wu-Sabat, actual facts, liberation doctrine. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys are enjoying that song, Freedom for the Master Teacher by Love and Unity. And the competition, I think we've got such good videos in. If you haven't sent your video in for the competition, remember all you have to do is mime the song. You can do the whole song, you can do just the chorus, but give us nice footage. Can be with you, your family, your friends, get the children involved. And yeah, once you're happy with your recording, you can upload it to osmvision.wetransfer.com. We've seen such good videos. We think we want to extend it for another week for those who haven't had a chance to get their videos in. So the competition is for you to sing and mime the song Freedom for the Master Teacher by Love and Unity. You can find that on YouTube, and then send it in, and the prize is going to be amazing for the winner. So yeah, get your videos in before next week Tuesday. Is a deadline, final deadline next week Tuesday, by the time we finish the live next week Tuesday. All right, great. Okay, let's have a look. Before we get started, remember, it's always a pleasure, it's always an honor to come before you on behalf of the Master Teacher, the one and only Pana Babyanun, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York. Despite all the slander, all the hate, despite all the lies, the conspirators tried their best, but it ain't working, and it's not going to work because Baba's going to come home, and we're all looking forward to that. So keep your chant up, keep the meditation up, keep the visualization up until we get Pops home, all right? Okay, for those who are new, remember you can call in live. The live number will be in the chat, and we'll give it to you throughout the live, so you can actually call in and ask your question live, all right? Remember to share the room. All right, let's see who's in already. We're going to wait for more people to join before we get into the questions, the Q&A. Kimberly, Rahubat. This knowledge has a calming effect on my mind. I really can't describe it. That's because it's the truth. We have a live caller already. All right, let's get into it. Rahubat caller, what's your name, where you calling from, and what's your question for today?
My name is Kerith Muir from Jamaica.
Rahubat Jamal.
Okay, so my question is, well, I don't want this to sound like a strange question, but I've been thinking about it a lot. So one of the times when I was asking you a question, you were saying that it was possible to receive back your barythary gland. And so you made it sound like there are beings or entities that are going to give us back our barythary gland. So who specifically are those beings that will be helping us to receive our barythary gland back and basically give us a DNA upgrade? Who are the beings that are going to do that for us?
Okay, again, remember with Wu-Sabat, when you speak like us, we have to be very clear on who we're talking about when we say us. And we have to make sure that the listeners also know what we're talking about when we say barythary gland, okay? I said it would be reactivated or reinserted, and that's because it was surgically removed. And when you, to answer your question, you have to be worthy first of all. Like, everybody would like to have it because of the capabilities and the powers that you receive once you get it. However, that power comes with great responsibility. And before you even make the grade, for a lack of a better word, to get it, you should be focusing on what you need to do to get it. And what you would need to do is to, first of all, apply Wu-Sabat. And when you apply Wu-Sabat, it means that you're actually living it. And that involves you changing your total mentality, your mental state, because your mind is what governs your actions and what you do. So, of course, the master teacher, Partner Babylon, doesn't leave any stones unturned. So he actually gives you the formula, or the medicine, if you like, to do that. So this scroll called the mind, you have to first of all take that in, because the mind will make you think properly, and then you can start to act properly. Page 30 of this. Okay, cool. So what I'm saying is you have to start thinking correctly, and that means, like, we've been dumbed down. A lot of people have been basically bamboozled, meaning that they've given you falsehood for truth, lies instead of truth, and a lot of people don't really know what's been going on, like, for the last 6,000 years. And so the first thing is that we have to give you the information, the right knowledge, which gives you the right wisdom, and then on your way to right understanding, and then using the mind, you start to basically do what we call right sound, right reasoning. Okay? And so that's what the sound right reasoning is, when your mind is right. But if you look at, if you have this book, classic again, Man from Planet Risk, you hear a lot of people talking about this scroll. And if you go to page 30, right, it explains about what the barothry gland is, how it was removed, and what the power that you get. So the highest senses that you get from having your barothry replaced is the telepathy, clairvoyance, intuition, psychometry. All right, and it says these are higher senses. These higher senses are what connected you or enabled you to communicate to the, it says here Elohim, but we know that this book was published a long time ago. But what we're really talking about is connecting you back to the overseers and the beings that exist on higher dimension and higher realms. And the whole process of getting to that stage is to start from the lowest first, which is when you look at what people call the chakras. The chakras, it's a Hindu word, but really what we're saying is that you have to activate these glands and overcome the lowest one, which is the desires and the things that are holding you by way of, like, lust, by way of physical desires. And when you activate that one, i.e. you take control of your carnal desires, then you go upwards and you start to activate all of them until you get to, most people show you 7, because they didn't know until we, by way of Partner Babylon, started to explain that we, being 9 ether beings, we have another extra 2 that are outside of your physical body. So the 7th one being the one that a lot of people know about, the pineal gland, which works with the pituitary gland. That's when you're activated to open up and have a more when it's not calcified, meaning that it's open for you to receive more information. Okay, but as Nagaru, we have 8 and 9, which are above or outside of your head or your physical body, but they're all a part of you, because these 9 seats are connected to the 9 realms, or the 9 different, people get confused between when we say realms and we say dimensions and we say planes, all right? So let me try and clarify that. So you have realms, and within those realms, you have different states of vibration, okay? And this would be termed like planes, in the sense that I've used this example many times. You can have a color, but you can have millions of that same color, or variations of that same color. So when you look at the chakra systems, or you look at anything to do with vibrations and frequencies, such as the electromagnetic spectrum, or even the visible light spectrum, even colors, when you use the primary colors to make other colors, you're able to see there's a range. And it normally starts from red, because the red is dealing with the kind of lower vibrations of the carnal desires, all the way up to when you start to get to the higher vibration. So things like yellow will be intellect, white is very spiritual, blue is spiritual, until you get to what we call, what you see as violet or purple, even when you look at the rainbow, right? So you go from the lowest to the highest, and then beyond that to what we call darkness, or supreme balancement, or what we call triple darkness. So going back to your original question, it's not just as simple as, oh, we're just going to get our barotheric gland. There's work to be done, where you have to turn yourself inside out, raise your vibrations, change the way you think, start to put Wu-Sabat into action, and then once you're deemed to be worthy, the elders will then reinsert it or reactivate it if it's already there. And because we know that it's there, because even though it was removed, they had to take care not to damage the nerve endings. So parts of it are still there. This is why people who want to like experience having the esoteric or the higher vibrations, some people will take drugs, some people like take all kinds of intoxicants and try to induce it, but it would only last for so long. But when you get the barotheric gland, it will actually be permanent. It gives you full access to use the power of your brain. So most people use less than 10%, and when you have full access to it, you start to even use what people know or call junk DNA. So there is a lot to it. And the word bara, obviously the word Genesis, right, in the Bible, is the original word in the Hebrew will be barashith. You can hear the word bara and bara, which means like to reconstruct, or to replenish, or to start again. And so when the barotheric gland is replaced, it will be replaced by the elders. The master teacher, partner by Yanun, is one of those elders. He is the keeper of the list, or the records of who will be on that list. And it's not just about, it's not just about lip service. It's actually about you transforming yourself and doing the work. So it says on page, if I just read from the last paragraph on page 30 and on to 31, it says, the word bara, which means beginning of a thing, or to bring about to a new, all right? It was removed from the hippocampus area, which is located in the cerebellum region of your brain. The barotheric gland worked with the appendix and the tonsils. The removal of the barotheric gland cut off your 4 higher senses: telepathy, clairvoyance, intuition, and psychometry. Then it says the hippocampus, whose purpose is not well known to modern science, is the tissue which held the barotheric gland when it was once inside the brain. Then there's a question. Yanun, when did you come here? Oh, that kind of goes into another section, but it says, I, Yanun, came once on Tuesday 12th, midnight, 26th of June, 1945 AD, to see which human seed I would be planted in, and to reinsert the barythry gland in the child, right? And it shows the diagram of the submental area, which is here. Sub deals with underneath, because originally it was up there, but now it's going to be placed in the submental region, and then that reacts, or that which works with the brain, right? So it goes on to say the weather filled with an overcast of clouds and rain was a perfect cover for our mission. We did not reinsert his barythry gland in the hippocampus area of the brain this time, but in the lower part of the chin, referred to as the submental area, meaning the sub or lower, and mental, that which reacts with the mind. Yeah. I could go on, but you really need to get hold of this scroll called Man from Planet Risk, and that will give you more information. Did that answer your question?
Well, I'm just wondering as well. So, completely, all of the beings that are responsible for our ascension and for us to receive back our higher DNA, all those beings are Negroid, right?
No, what we're saying, we have been assigned one who's Partner Babyanun. His job is to come here to guide us, to upgrade us by way of giving us this knowledge back, because most people were caught up in the monotheistic religions, the spell of Kingu for the last 6,000 years, the spell of ignorance, racial blindness, not knowing who you are. Of course, he was sent to the Negroid race, but every other race also has had their own warner sent to them. So you look at even like Joseph Smith, right, of the Mormons, he was sent, and he speaks about being called what's his name, Jerome. But yeah, everyone has had someone sent to them. But what's happened is that we are the last. It says the first shall be the last and the last shall be the first. So when you're saying the beings are, or the being is Partner Babyanun, but he is a part of a council of beings, right? There are different councils, like the council of 9, then you have the 24 elders. You have beings that work together, and he's been assigned as the being sitting in the last seat, known as the 24th, right? Because it's a beginning of the new 24,000 year cycle. Yanun is the 19th elder, but he's now sitting on the 24th seat because he's the renewer, the reformer. Yeah, we can go on and give you more and more information, but he's the being that is here. He's the being that everyone has been prophesizing and speaking about. And he's here, been here since 1960s, opening the 7th seal officially from 1970 AD. A lot of people are still catching on, but those of us who have been walking with him, we know by his works that he is who he is, and he's that living Messiah, the living black Messiah. Many other people, many other races have also beings that come for them. There are beings that are coming here for all kinds of things. Some of them have got some agendas which are not going to be safe for you, in terms of, beings come here for many things. Beings have been living on this planet for millions of years. Some come here for shopping, some come here for food, some come here to hunt, for recreation, some come here to exchange information, some come here to trade, different information for different things. There's so much. It's not as simple as, it's just that this information was hidden for a very long time, and it's only, for some people, it's only recent that they're starting to get exposed to UFOs and UAPs. They say unidentified aerial phenomena, and they're now starting to give you something called disclosure. Millions of people around the world have had encounters with being abducted by different types of extraterrestrials. We've done videos to show you the various extraterrestrials that are living in the caverns in the earth. This is, for some people, is new information. For others, it's not. It's just that it's been hidden. And people say, how do you know what these aliens look like? Well, Partner Babyanun is an extraterrestrial. It's not every extraterrestrial looks hideous like what you see in the movies and they call them, you know, aliens and so forth. So you can Google 1945. From 1945, you see crafts over the White House. This ties
Wait,
into the.
I want to know something.
Go ahead.
So you're saying that he's an extraterrestrial negroid?
Yes, I am saying that, but the term negroid just describes. Look, there's a book called My Brother the Extraterrestrial right here, right? This is the book that was published. Probably, I think this is like going into 2000, 2001, around about that time, and it was written by his beloved sister. Yeah, right there. That's her right there. Okay, that's our Kamantat. Yeah, Mut Patah Waret Atumreye. That's his sister, right? She put this book together from her visits with him since his incarceration, and explaining, having grown up with him. You remember, she grew up with him from childhood to now, and explaining how he's an extraterrestrial. But I mean, the works speak for themselves. But yes, to answer your question, if you want to use that term, there's a Nagar Nadu.
Okay, so there are other negroid beings out there in space.
Okay, let me explain this. You are one. We are all extraterrestrials. It's just that most of us, those who haven't yet come to the terms that when you say you're an extraterrestrial, we break this word down continuously. Extra just means in addition to something, addition to the terrain, or this planet was once known as Terra. So when you're saying extraterrestrial, you're talking about something that's coming from outside of the terrestrial, coming from the celestial into this atmosphere, into this being. Now, when you go to the Bible, the Quran, and all these lesser mysteries, they didn't really have the full knowledge or understanding of what extraterrestrial were. So they gave you stories about angels, about gods, and these gods are somewhere called heaven, and they come from above and they come down. And most of the stories in the Bible about extraterrestrials, they talk about, you know, Daniel, they talk about Ezekiel's will, they talk about chariots, they talk about the books of Revelation with the crystal city, they talk about angels like Michael and Gabriel. You know, even Muhammad was visited by an angel called Gabriel, or they say Jibril. All of this is to tell you that the part of you, right, that's not from here, because it also says that God breathed into man and man became what? You're a living soul. When you deal with soul, soul is energy, right? And there's a soul realm, and that realm is one of the 9 realms I mentioned before. You have to tap in or activate this, and once you start to align and activate these centers, energy centers within you, to make you a complete full being, which you are, a light being, because you're what we call etheric. You have another level of you called the ether, right? Ether is what connects everything and keeps everything glued together, called tachyon energy or gluon. That's what it is. And what it is people who have activated their powers, and it's like a remembering tool to remind you of who you are. Then you start to live and be the god or the god and goddesses that we are. But a lot of people have been given these doctrines that keep you subdued, keep you bound by the spell, keep you afraid, keep you not wanting to really know about the real you. And that's what you're talking about when you say an incarnation, like you're reactivating the God genes within you. Not everybody has them. Not everybody has the ability. Not everybody wants to even, you know, accept this knowledge. So it's down to the individual in terms of when you hear the tones, if you are one of those children, one of those people that resonate with it, the master teacher says he's come to find his children and to teach them and to get them to the point where they can receive their barythry gland if they're worthy, and then return home if they're able to make it. So, you know, this is a very serious thing, and truth is truth. That's why truth is what's going to make you free, nothing else. In the Bible they say set you free, which sounds like, or again, it's a trap, because it makes you think somebody has to come and do it. Because if you say somebody has to set you free, then you're waiting on someone to come and do it. When you have the ability to do it, and this doctrine, Wu-Sabat, is what's going to help you do it. So you're going to make yourself free, because the helping hand that you're looking for is at the end of your own arm. You see, so Wu-Sabat is not just a dip you in water religion and then now you're like, oh, I'm born again. And then there's no progress, there's no change. You're still following dead stories, dead books, things that are not really progressive, dealing with divisions and dealing with, you know, suppression and all that kind of stuff. So Wu-Sabat is here for those who are really about getting in tune with their real inner being. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Next question. All right, let's see what we're saying in the chat. All right, Kimberly, Gunda. Oh yeah, I already said this knowledge has a calming effect on my mind. I really can't describe it. Yeah, there's some things you can't describe, you have to feel. Because when we're dealing with the, like I said, everyone's got ears, but not everyone can hear. Everyone has eyes, not everyone can see. You know, everyone has a nose, but not everyone can smell. But you have inner vibrations or inner ear, inner eye, you know, you have other parts of you that resonate on the higher vibration. And when you start to use these powers, right, you can feel things on a higher level. We did a video call from 3D to 9D, right, which is saying to you, like, most people are trapped in 3D. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, people, places, things, morning, afternoon, night, you know, breakfast. Like, that's how most people think. Lunch, supper. They're just stuck in a 3-dimensional world. Whereas there are 9 dimensions, and each one of those 9 has sub-levels or subplanes or degrees. Like I was saying with the colors, with anything, there are degrees. So you might have someone that is aware mentally, but then there is degrees of mental awareness. Yeah, there's degree of consciousness. There's like the subconscious, you know, there is the super conscious. There are different levels of anything you can think about. So yes, you might be awake, you might get your eye open, but then there are degrees of learning that you still have to go through to get to the higher degrees. 9 to the 9th power of 9. So different students are going to be at different levels, and it's down to you, because Wu-Sabat is here for you and everything you need is here. But you have to then, you know, no one can take you and force you to exercise, even though you know that exercising is good for you. No one's going to force you to put the right things into your mouth. You have to do that. No one's going to force you to chant or to meditate, but those who do, because you have different parts of you. You have the physical body, right? Most people can do things for the physical body, you know, like, but others, again, in degrees, you might be able to do 5 press-ups. Someone else might do 100 press-ups a day, and others will push themselves even further. That's just dealing with the physical. When you're dealing with your spiritual aspects, you know, like, you might fast for 1 day. Somebody else might fast 3 days, 4 days. And there are different degrees and different levels of fasting. When it comes to the mind, you know, that's another level. Like, how can you endure, like, when you're put under extreme conditions of maybe, say, stress or chaos around you, but you're still able to have the right mentality or mind to control whatever you're, you know, being subjected to. So there are different levels to everything, and it's down to you to walk with the master teacher and let him raise you up in degrees. But you have to start by dealing with the basics. That's life, the foundations, you know. All right, let's look at more questions, because we have a lot. Yeah, so I was saying to Kimberly, is because it's the truth. That's why you have that calming effect. Oh, someone else said that already. Oh, OSM Vision. Yeah, you're on point, bro. It is the truth. It's not plain. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we hadn't started yet. I know some of you are early birds, and we want to take the time out, listen, to thank you, because we know we have some dedicated listeners and people that have been with us on this journey right from the beginning, and you're loyal, and we want to show you and appreciate, love you. And there are those who support us in what we do, and every little helps because we have a big job to do. We're trying to build a studio so we can have more content. As you know, support us. We do this. We're dedicated to this. We're here every week for you. So we want to just say, yeah, we appreciate, love all those who support us. Like, share, subscribe. Wu-Sabat is the future. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Remember, you can ring in. Okay, let's go. Is our souls more important than our spirits? A simple answer, though, that's from Life is a Blessing. Simple answer is yes. However, they're all equally important because they interact with each other. They're interrelated. Like, it's like saying, is my little finger more important than my arm? Well, if you chop off your little finger, you're going to find out that has a major effect on your arm and then the rest of your body. So everything is related. It's in terms of the spirit, it will help the soul in terms of pushing it further into the higher realms and dimensions. So it needs to be strong. But if you don't have a soul, you can't access the higher realms. So yes, the soul is definitely more important in that regard. Everything that is alive, vibrating, has a spirit. But like I mentioned, and I keep mentioning in many videos, remember, the knowledge we give you is what we've been taught by the master teacher, Partner Babyanun. The master teacher. He's called the master teacher because he is the master at teaching. Nobody teaches like him. He's the one that is the warner, the guide, the reformer, the one that has been sent here to spread Wu-Sabat and help humanity to progress, and go to the next 24,000 years. So the spirit is useful because you need your spirit to navigate and be in this three-dimensional world. And so that's why trees, animals, rocks, everything has a spirit because you're dealing with a vibration. But then you have higher vibrations go into the soul realm and go into the etheric realm that you have to reach, but you can only do so with a soul. And obviously it all ties into, when you say soul, actually the word soul is the original word, a Latin word, right? Even though it became S-O-L instead of S-O-U-L. And soul ties into solar, as in the sun, because the energy that sustains this planet is from the sun mainly. And the word solar comes from two beings. Sal, because you have to learn and know how our universe came about, all right? And you had two beings, Sal and Arena. It's their two names that got put together to get the word solar. And you can read this in the Holy Tablets. And that's where the name was Sal, and Arena became solar, taking the first part. Because remember, again, when you study languages, you start to look at Semitic languages or Shemitic languages, you start to see that the vowels are interchangeable. So Sal, S-A-L, can be S-O-L, and then Arena, A-R-I-N-A, the first part of that name, A-R, put together became solar. But that solar energy tying into your solar plexus, right? So this is how the energy is really useful. Okay, we have another caller live, so let's take that. Rahubat.
How you doing, bro?
Doing my best, Zamal. How are you?
Oh, it's Sakem? Is that you?
Tua, Anuki.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Tua.
Oh, okay. How you doing, bro? I cannot. Can you raise your volume a little? It's a little.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm on. Hold on. Maybe I could, if I close the YouTube, it might be. Okay. Can you hear me better?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who's
I don't know
calling?
why it's a
Where are
little
you calling
low, but
from?
yeah. So, how you doing, Sakam? Rahubat, man. It's
Rahubat.
Kaiser. How are you?
I'm doing good. Who's calling?
Uh,
Is that
yes, yeah,
Kaiser?
Kaiser.
All right. I thought I
Yeah,
recognized the voice, the tones. How are you? Long time.
yeah. Uh, yeah. I'm great, man. Yeah. So, I appreciate love the last you uploaded the one to one. So yeah,
Yeah.
it put me in a great mood,
Great.
and happy to see that. I love
All right.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good.
Huh?
Do you have a
Yeah.
question for me
Yeah.
today?
Oh, all right, right. Well, yeah. I mean, quick question, right?
Yeah.
I'm sort of thinking of, well, basically I have some news. I'm going to Africa, so I'm going to the vacation
Afafre Kau.
to the
Sure.
motherland. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want to say first.
All right.
Yeah. So, I thought about over time when you say it's important to speak Miss Batia and we're united. So yeah, I wanna, while I'm there, I was thinking, I would like try to see if there's a place that people are speaking that language. So that's my question. Is there anywhere in Africa that they mainly majority, like it could be a community that speaks Miss Batia? Yeah, know of. Because also,
where are you going in
you
Africa?
gotta start helping people talk it.
Sorry, where are you going in Africa?
Yes, Uganda, Africa. So I have a vacation in Uganda.
Okay.
So yeah,
Obviously,
they mostly speak English.
yeah. What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
where we have communities in Africa is where you're going to find people speaking Miss Batia. We're all still learning. There are some that are more proficient than others, but no, I don't know of a community in Uganda at the moment. But this is the point. We will be obviously growing and would spread Wu-Sabat, including Miss Batia, everywhere worldwide. But yeah, I mean, just keep learning. But I don't know of a community in Uganda at the moment that speaks Miss Batia.
Oh, okay, good.
All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. Is that it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, there's more. Yeah. That's it. I think that's good. That's good. Yeah, because there's a big interest for the Miss Batia. So.
Absolutely.
You could have teachers teaching over there, and they just start speaking that language, and then it'll grow from like 5 people to 10 to 100, then thousands.
Yeah, that's why
people.
we need
That's
to
how that
establish communities, and we have a lot of work to do, and we're running various projects and rebuilding rebuilding communities and things. So that's how we're going to do it. It's not about just one person going on their own to do all the work. It's about working together and moving together. Obviously, it's good to travel and look and see things for yourself. We're taught to research, evidence, reason, experience. It's all part of our learning. So yeah, it's good for you to go and check it out. But yeah, eventually we will definitely have communities over there. All right.
But it's also good that I'm learning, right? So if I'm gonna continue learning,
and
if I know the language, I speak Miss Batia over there, it can spread like that too. It's gonna grow. Because I'm learning that language.
But remember, they also have to learn to be able to
learn more. They go online
converse
classes,
with
what
you.
I'm saying. So
yeah. All right. Well, have a good trip and let us know when you come back how it went.
Oh yeah, yes, yes. It'll be great. I might try to think of a question, but I just want to talk to you. Wish you a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna keep listening.
There are lots of other questions.
It's a little hard to hear, so.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay, next question we have from Life is a Blessing. How exactly were we placed into dolphins to be seeded on this planet? Okay, that sounds like the religious story with Jonah being placed into a well. We were not placed into a dolphin. what it is, you have to remember that when we look at what we consider life, right? Whatever life form you can think of, you have to remember that life form started off being very minute, right? You're really composed of cells, and cells are quite small, right? So when you start to break things down into the lowest denominator, or the smallest particle that made them up, you're gonna find that things start small. And this is where you're dealing with microscopic life forms. And when you look at even like yourself, you had to come by way of the sperm, right, from your father, and then your mother grew you in her stomach, and then you grew and grew and grew, and you came out as a baby, and then you continue to grow to what you are today. When we're saying the dolphins were seeded with the prototype, or what will then become life form on this planet in the way you know it as humanoid. So it wasn't, when you say how were we placed, it was the Natharu that seeded and put the DNA and the genes and the formula in a capsule into the dolphin and transported the dolphins into the waters of this planet. The planet as you know it today was not always like this. This planet has been through many changes, had many names, had many catastrophes, and has evolved and evolved over the millions and millions of years, right? Billions, in fact, when you look back to the universe and its formation. So you have to think, the universe itself was forming, and then you had from the universe the galaxies, and galaxies, different galaxies are then formed into different, what you call like solar systems, right? When we say solar system, we're basically saying that you have suns, right? There are billions of suns when you look into the night sky, especially if you use a telescope. Even with the James Webb telescope, the most advanced telescope, when they're looking into the universe, it's phenomenal. It's like the cosmos, the amount of billions and billions of stars, and they're trying to tell you that when you're looking at a star, you're looking at a star that came from something, and then from it, things came out of it, and then they're like caught up in its magnetic pull, and then they form different star systems, all right? And one of ours is where we have, you know, Mercury, Mars, Venus, all these planets around the sun. So our planet Earth today wasn't always called Earth. Earth comes from the word Ard, right? Which really ties to the Anunnaki stories, and it was called Tiamat at one point, you see. So life forms evolved, and then the dolphin with the capsule that melted into the seas germinated, and then through millions of years evolved. And then you had like, if you go back to the early forms of the planet, you start to look at things like the algae and looking at single cells and amoebas. I mean, these are things you have to go and look at, study, you know, do some scientific research, and you know what I'm saying. But then eventually that life came out of the waters. We as the Nagaru were the first, and we came out as reptilians, known as the frogs and the snakes when you go back into ancient Egypt, and referred to as the Ogdoads, right? And the 9 Enneads, and then beings evolved and came from that, and then eventually through tsunamis and certain events, beings got thrown onto land, and then from there some couldn't get back to the water because they were thrown out so far, and then they evolved on the land. Then you have those who were thrown onto trees, and others went back into the waters. You had millions of years of civilizations under the water with mermaids and mermen. They tell you and show you most of these stories in many movies, okay? Like Sirens. Even Aquaman, and all these types of movies. They tell you about life in the waters. Then you had the Anunnakis come, beings like Enki, all right, known as Nudamud. He was terraforming the planet, and he's a water being because his mother is a draconian known as Id, because remember Anu had two wives, Antum and Id, all right. Id was Enki's mother, and so Enki was building great underwater cities. People will say, why can't you find them today? You have to, if you know how deep the sea is, that's why they call it the deep. You watch movies where they even take submarines. You can go so deep to a point where you can't breathe. I mean, you can't breathe even just like a few miles down anyway. Even just in the swimming pool, you can't breathe underwater, much less when you have suits, you know, diving suits, and you see movies when they get so far. If they do not have certain equipment, they can literally explode, right? You know, or they can't get back up in time if they don't have enough oxygen. So I'm saying to you, there are parts of the sea, deep seas, where have never been explored, where these beings and entities and cities are under. You had like Rainbow City and many cities in the caverns. The caverns, you read again. We've got all these books. So if you want to get hold of them, Shambhala and Agartha, okay? Cities within, all right? I don't seem to have it here, but that goes into it. People say, oh, but people used to say that the earth wasn't hollow. They said there's lava. But if you look at the map of the inner world, the subterranean world, there's a map, you know, the one that shows Shambhala, right? It shows you the different levels as you're going down in terms of the caverns and where the lava is, right? There you go. It's even in this diagram. Yeah, so I'm saying is there are different, depending on how far down you go in the, on page 32 of Mission Earth and the extraterrestrial involvement, again, you can get hold of this scroll. There's a picture called the Hollow Earth, right? And the Hollow Earth, it shows you the diagram with the central sun, and this was depicted by artist Max Fifield of Denmark, right? And it explains, right? For example, because people say, oh, they didn't realize that the earth was hollow. They used to say solid and the lava, but there are levels or stratas, and there are points where the lava is and the volcanoes and all of that. It shows you in this diagram. So when you study that, look at it properly, study it, and then as you go deeper and deeper in, you have a completely different environment, subterranean world, with different beings living in different caverns. Some of them have been there for millions of years, some come and go, some of them have left. They come in through many entrances, and the entrances were the north and south poles, right? So it says here, for example, where are the entrances to this subterranean world? Answer: there are entrances all over the planet Earth. Many are found in caves, well hidden, and exist in as many places on the earth as there are on the earth. In order to enter these caverns, you must know where the entrances are, like the polar regions. These entrances will lead you to a whole different tropical environment in such places as Peru, Brazil, yeah, Guatemala, I can't pronounce that word properly, as well as Arizona, the north and south poles, which I mentioned, Africa, Germany, Egypt, the Himalayas, Montana, right? Because there are so many different species that live in the caverns, they may or may not contact the people that live on the earth. It says, what do these beings want? Answer: these beings really don't want anything from surface dwellers, because they are far more advanced than humans. However, some do come to educate, others come for blood, for those that eat human flesh. Most of them keep to themselves and are concerned with the conditions of the planet, because what happens on the surface can affect what happens on the inside. Take, for instance, the air filters down to these underground cities. If the radiation in the air is high, like when the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima on August the 6th, 1945 AD, and on Nagasaki on August the 9th, 1945 AD, which made many subterranean crafts come to the surface, and many crafts came from other planets to the Earth, right? So I was saying before, if you start to research Roswell and all these sightings, just Google extraterrestrials over White House in 1945, you'll see this. And this is because when that atomic bomb and these types of things take place, they risk affecting those beings. So they will come out and they will try to basically deal with it. All right, we have another live caller. This is available as well. Caller, what's your name, where you calling from, and what's your question, please?
This is Simon from London. How you doing, Second? Rahubat and all that.
Rahubat, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Well, just a quick question.
Sure.
The mud flood, was that created by sound and frequency?
Sorry, say that again. I didn't catch the first part.
You know the mud flood?
The mud flood?
There's a mud flood in the 1600s. I think it destroyed Tartaria, I believe.
Right. Yeah. I can't say specifically on that one, but we do know that many there are different weapons and things that are used, like weather weapons and so forth, till this day.
Yeah.
That cause those types of events.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, there are, like I was saying, even now, like there are lots of what people call sinkholes, right?
Yeah.
Those sinkholes are, all of a sudden people are seeing these massive sinkholes. It's because some of these extraterrestrial crafts that were inhabiting a particular location, some of them have left and now left, you know, they've taken a lot of things with them. So they're major holes that you just find, you know, all over the planet right now. But yeah, there are incidences that take place. There are lots of underground cities, you know, that people discover just because of the natural disasters and things like that that are taking place, you see. So yeah, there are lots of things that happen on the planet based on either meteorites hitting. You know, meteorites hit all the time. It's just that they may not be of a significant size to cause major damage. But if you start to look at the craters and look at what's happened on the planet for, you know, for thousands and millions of years, you start to see a story building up, because it's like there were wars and certain crashes and certain things taking place as well. Does that help?
Yeah, but yes, it definitely does. But you've got no more information on the Tartaria.
No, not at the moment.
No.
I'll have to maybe do a bit more research on that one.
Okay.
And come back to you.
Just one more question again.
Sure.
How is Asaru? We haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, Asaru is good. We saw him this week. He came briefly, but like I said, he travels a lot. But yeah, he was here last week, and I think he's gone back to Sheffield or one of those places in the north.
Yeah, listen, sending my ashuk to all you guys and keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm loving it.
Right. We need you to come and help, though.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone keeps telling us keep doing what you're doing, but you know, there's a lot of work to be done.
I'm doing what I can on the mind level, if you like.
Okay, it's
I'm
a start.
I'm doing a lot of that. I'm putting stuff out there, right, with the mind, and that's how I said. Keep doing what you guys are doing. I'll do what I can, though, definitely.
No problem.
Yeah.
All right.
Ashuk, and take care. I'll see you soon, guys.
All right. Wadu. Have you pressed the like button yet? If you haven't done so, please, that helps us with the algorithm to obviously keep doing what we do. So please just hit that like button if you haven't done so. All right. Let's keep going. What was the next question? Actually, today, dealing with what I was saying about solar, the energy. The weather's nice in the UK at the moment, so we're lapping it up. Sun cycle's definitely here. It's coming. All right. Yeah, we had a question. Yeah, covered the one about the dolphins. Rahubat. Okay. Any more questions? Yeah, Wu-Sabat in the building. Check Chaser. Oh, where can we get that song? Yeah, that song, Freedom for the Master Teacher. Well, it's going to be officially released and the official video is being done, and we want you to be involved because we want as many faces and voices of freeing the Master Teacher to be seen and shown and heard. So we're running a competition at the moment. The competition ends next week, Tuesday, when the live stream is over. What we'd like you to do is just mime the song and film yourself the best quality you can, and get the family involved. You know, you can go on location. We've seen some submissions and they're so good. Yeah, someone saying they're gonna win. They keep saying they're gonna win, and I'm like, well, we wait and see. But yeah, submit the videos once you film them to osmvision.wetransfer.com, and that will give you the opportunity to win some excellent prizes. And then you will be featured as well in the video. So that will be available on the platforms we're going to share with you once it's live, and that will be very soon. So we'd like your support on that as well, because we really want the world to hear that song, Freedom for the Master Teacher, because that's what we're all waiting for. That's what the world is waiting for, and I can feel it, you know, it's very close. All right, so yeah, thank you for that question. You can just find it on YouTube at the moment so that you can learn the words and mime along. You can just do the chorus or you can do the entire song. It's up to you. All right, that was from Kiel Hall. Kiel Hall, if I'm pronouncing your name properly. Rahobat Amanda from Washington. George Rahobat. Okay, life is a blessing. I'm not sure if you mentioned it before, but what does the Z in the Master Teacher name stand for? The Z, that's such a good question in terms of what I'm about to say next. The Z stands for Zodok, Zedek, as in Melchizedek, or Zodok, which the Zodokites are your elite or the elders, the masters. And yeah, so when you see Malachi Z, that's his name, but it stands for Zodok, which is, remember we say that in the books of Malachi, okay? Because he's the one that wrote the book. The book is called Malachi, and Malachi chapter 4 verse 2 talks about the angel of justice coming with healing in his wings, the son of righteousness, okay? And that's when we're saying that justice, that also ties into the Egyptian word ma'at, right? Which is, again, dealing with being fair and just. Because when this angel comes, he comes to judge and to basically eradicate all the lies and the falsehood that has kept people's minds trapped, entrapped in these religions, in the sixth ether spell for 6,000 years. And with him coming means that the truth will be available to everyone. And that starts by way of him opening what they call the seventh seal, okay? And then pouring out the truth to the world. So that's what the Z stands for. Now, what I was gonna say is, with everything, you have the truth and then you have the distortion, or the evil being made fair seeming. So there's a movie called World War Z, and you look at the Z, again, it's depicted in red because it's dealing with what they call the zombie. The Z stands for zombie, or the zombie apocalypse, which deals with also the reptilian beings that are coming from places like the Zeta Reticuli, which deals with these reptilian draconian beings that are here to, when you look at zombies, they're basically flesh eaters. And in that movie, World War Z, go and look at it again and study it. And Z happens to be Z, as we call it here in the English accent. Z is the last letter. So the last time, you know, we're coming to what they call the end times. And for those who are really watching our videos keenly, There are many things we tell you by way of the warner, the master teacher, who told us about the zombie apocalypse and told us about what's going on right now on this planet, years and years and years ahead, right? If you're listening, we told you like what was going on with the wars in Palestine and all that. We told you, we said it's about the land. Lord and behold, this week, what are they all talking about? Occupation of Gaza. So these are things where if you're really paying attention to what we're teaching when we're talking about the Antichrist and talking about how everything that is good is being distorted and being put in a way that you're being fooled, and you might think you're doing the right thing, but really they run ahead of you. There are organizations like a society called the Luciferian conspiracy, right? Luciferian conspiracy, yeah, which was way before religion and Christianity and all that came about. And they set about, when you look at the word Luciferian, you hear the word Lucifer, okay? Yeah, who is what? The morning star, right? So when you're reading certain books, you think you might be like thinking you're calling on a good being or worshiping a good being, using words like Jesus and so on and so forth. But you don't know what entity that is that you're actually calling on, because you've never seen that being apart from a depiction or a picture that someone gave you, you see. But the Luciferian conspiracy deals with you see the light? Well, it's a fire really. Because even with fire you have, or what people call light, you have fire and you have light. Two different things. So when the Bible and the Quran and all these religious books were being written, they didn't know about Thomas Edison and the electric bulb and all of that. Like, they were dealing with fire and fire worship. That's why Abraham is their chosen man. Abraham was from a place called Ur of Chaldea. That's Ur means fire. So the Luciferians are fire worshippers, and the fire that they're giving their allegiance to is Lucifer. Right? When you say Lucifer, you're talking about the circle, cipher, right? Lucifer, the morning star. Go to Isaiah, it talks about this. This is where you get the light, the brotherhood of the light, dealing with the Illuminati. But when people say Illuminati, they're not telling you who these people are. But you go to people like Albertus Magnus or Albert Pike, who are the forefathers that actually put these organizations together, ties into the witches known as Madame Blavatsky, tying into the Thule society that Hitler was, you know, they chose Hitler as their man on the planet. And you start to look at what he did in terms of, you know, what he did on the planet, and look at one of the 200 fallen angels' name is also Hitler. This is also available. All these books, the master teacher didn't just put them out for the sake of it. You know, there's a lot of information that you need to know that is describing in detail who the families are, who are the people that you're calling the Illuminati, and what do they plan. We talk about things like the New World Order in detail. That was way back then. Even Hitler wrote a book called The New World Order. So a lot of the things that we're telling you when we're dealing with the Antichrist, right? This is the end times where we're talking about the book of Revelations. People look at that as this is also available. The Leviathan, 666, the mark of the beast. We broke this down. You can look and see the jewels that we give you. Check this out. The guy that has the towers, his name begins with a T, right? That's a T. T Tower. Read between the lines. Okay. Then you look at the towers, the twin towers that came down on 9/11. Coincident? No coincidence. Okay. 45 president. 4 plus 5 is what? 9. Then what? 47 president. What's 4 plus 7? 11. 9/11. T towers, twin towers, 9/11. There's so much we go into. These books, The Mark of the Beast, The Luciferian Conspiracy, If you really want to know what's going on, Mission Earth and the extraterrestrial involvement, man from planet Risk. We can go on and on. Look, conflict of the gods. These wars that are taking place, the wars are taking place because these are based on religion, based on serving their gods, trying to appease their gods, trying to keep up this competition, divisions between people where you have, you know, like the Enki and Enlil. Those were Anunnaki gods. They had conflicts and they wanted, some people took allegiance to Enki, some to Enlil. And that has been the cause ever since, all the way from the Cain and Abel story, to the Jacob and Esau story, to the Enlil and Enki story, till this day where you have two parties, where you have, you know, whatever country you go to, there are always two predominant parties. One wears the red tie, one wears the blue tie, whether they're Republican and Democrats, or over here we say that, you know, Labour, and then we have Conservative. There are always two predominant parties conflicting against each other, trying to serve their gods or their deities, right, on earth. And then the wars and the divisions and the religions, and everyone's just fighting, and there's just killings and chaos on the planet. All of that has got to go with 9 ether. That's why the master teacher is here. Now you're dealing with extraterrestrials and creation, right? Because the beings on this planet, a lot of them, right, have been taken over by extraterrestrials, because it is a plan ET. We say planet. You know, we can go on and on, but Wu-Sabat gives you so much information into information so that your eyes are open and you're completely clear on what's going on the planet. And you need to learn what to do and how to prepare yourself, because, you know, the showdown is definitely coming. All right, let me see if I can get through a lot of these questions. Right, so I'll cover that one. The vibes are, yeah, check chaser, yeah, the time's serious. Right now we got a lot of work to do, so we need to hurry up and get things done. It's not just about the accumulation of information, and knowledge is great, but application of it is even better, all right? The vibes are high today. Love every one of you. We also love you too. Oh, I already answered where you can get the song. I'm not sure if you mentioned, yeah, I covered the Z. Oh yeah, the number, just to remind you all, for those who want to ring in live, UK area code +44 753 9963 882. I repeat, +44 753 9963 882. You can call us via WhatsApp and have your questions answered live, all right? Okay, check chaser again. Rahul Batsaken, I'm hearing all of this about beings coming here this year. Should we prepare? And I've been getting followed ever since I started spreading Wu-Sabat. How can I protect me spiritually? Listen, people say things like beings coming. They've been here. They've been coming, and we are those beings, some of us. So it's nothing new. You just have to be doing the right things in the right camp to be protected on the Wu-Sabat, right? By way of the master teacher, Partner Babyanun. We can't make it any simpler or clearer than that. People want to go off and try and do their own thing, or go and follow this one or follow that one. That's entirely up to you as well. We don't really, you know, we give you the affirmation to information. We tell you what we've been told and what we've been taught. We share everything with you. It's our job. We are those angels that are here to spread the word. And you become that too once you start to do the work. So when you're saying, how will I be protected? That's what Wu-Sabat is here for. And there are things that we do, like in terms of our chants, our rituals, and so on and so forth. So you really need to plug in and be close to the family. when people say, should we be preparing? We were given this information since the 60s to prepare. 70s, 80s, 90s, now 2025. You know, we should have been prepared. But a lot of people, they just wait to the last minute. Lastminute.com, innit? That's what we do. We wait to the last minute. And then you start to run around like headless chickens when right now we're doing work. Join us, come and help. We've got our 100 project. If you haven't supported that, we'd appreciate love you to do so. Information is in the Telegram group. If you're new, join the Telegram group because we share a lot of things daily, 24/7. All right, so yeah, spreading Wu-Sabat is a good thing because that will help you. Anyone who wants to apply the knowledge, it will help them. All right. Virgin Island, Rahubat, Musa, Macha Shuk, and peace. Each one reach one, each one teach one. 100%. Mitchell Lawrence, which extraterrestrial did black people come from or are linked to the most? See, again, when you say black people, that's a very vague term. There are different species of Nagaru or Nagarnadu, 9 species, and we come from what people term the original beings or Africans going back to what they refer to as the Neolithic era or pre-dynastic, right? And these beings that I explained that came out of the waters known as the Pataites, right? And those were seeded here and they, by way of the dolphin, by our ancestors known as the Natharu, the overseers, who come from a place called Risk, a planet called Risk in Ilion, which is a galaxy, right? That's who we came by way of Sirius, the Sirius star constellation, and by way of the Orion. But we are actually literally all over the different universes. The 19th is the one that Parnabab comes from, right? The 19th galaxy, and the planet Risk. And he was seeded, sent here and seeded into the child to be an Ilita Mutajasid, which is what people call an avatar in the Sanskrit, but that is the being that is here right now. That's who we're related to, all right? Some people are related to other extraterrestrials, such as the Anunnaki. When you look at the Anunnaki, they're also brown skin and had woolly hair, but they are a different branch, right? So when we say blacks, it depends on who you are. Now, everyone on the planet then actually comes by way of the DNA or the genetics of the Negroid, which people are calling black, all right? And then there are hybrids, and there are other entities or other beings that come from different star systems that have mixed in with those on the planet. All right, we have another live caller. So live caller, what's your name, where you calling from, and what's your question, please? Rahubat. 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 We're just trying to get you to come up louder. Give us 1 second.
Is that better?
Yeah, just hold on for 1 minute. We're just gonna try and put you through the speaker. All right, go ahead. I think that should be working better now. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here, Zamal.
Yeah, that's much better. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question actually was from earlier today. It kind of links on just a little bit to the question that was asked before, but I believe it's from the deception. Is it deception of
racial
the race?
Deception, Partarak.
It's a Partarak, yeah.
Tua, racial deception.
Yes, racial deception. From point 8 to 9, I don't know if you have it there.
I'm actually trying. I'm looking now to see if I can grab it.
Yeah, I just wanted a little bit of clarification around the 9 species. So
Okay, I've got it now. Yeah. What page are you looking at? What verse?
First page, right at the bottom. I believe it's verse 8 or 9.
Okay, yeah. Where it says there are 9 species of different types of Nagara. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you mind just giving me a little bit more, or directing me to other scrolls that would maybe break that down, just so that I have a better understanding? So,
Tua.
yeah.
Yeah. I think intelligent design
Okay.
goes into more detail, and there's another part to that that goes into more detail. I'm gonna try and see if we can find it, but essentially, what the master teachers is explaining, and we've done a video on this for those who want to watch it, is that each race, right? We explain that there are 3 root races, and the original being the Negroid race, or the way that the anthropologists break it down today with the latest information is Homo habilis and Homo naledi. That's the African, right? But within each race, so that's the first one. The second one being the Homo florensis, or the Denisovan, which covers all of the Asians, right? That's like your Chinese, Korean, Japanese, all of them. That's the second root race. The third one being what they call the Caucasian, which is made up of the Neanderthal and the Cro-Magnon. And each one of these races has different species, okay? So a simple way of trying to explain this is like, if you said cats, right? You have cats, but you have different species of cats. Obviously, people are familiar with the domesticated cat, but then you got like lions, cheetahs, tigers, panthers. They're all species of cats. It's the same when you look at the Negroid, as it says here. It says, and each race, how you know they have a unique trait. So for the Negroid race, our unique trait is the fact that we have hair. And back in the 60s, 70s, when you used to see Negroids, you know, the Jackson 5s and most of the music groups had Afro hair. And so that's our special trait. Then you have, and even like you look at people's composition, like their feet, the heel, the way their torso is shaped, their shoulders, their ears, their mouth. If you look closely, you can see that different people, different races have special traits. And so when you're saying there are 9 species or different types of Negroids, this is part of the reason why sometimes we don't get along, because different species have different genetic makeups, right? And different variations. So I think even in this actual racial deception, the master does go a bit further. So for example, if I read from verse 15, it says there are 6 species or types of Pakakasu. And when you see 6 dealing with 6 ether and the whole thing, like you look at Vikings, those are their different clans or species. You see VI is 6 in Roman numerals, right? Because when you're saying, say, English or England, you're really saying Anglo-Saxon. But that's the, you know, from the VI Vikings, right? The 6 kings. And they're made up of the Irish, Gaelic, Scottish, Polish, Finnish, and Welsh. This is why you'll have like beings that had like blonde hair, blue eyes, dealing with the original like Nordics that were grafted. And then you will have like, you know, the red hair, the green eyes. And so we can't always just look at someone and say that they're the same when they're not in terms of their species. But yeah, if you read Intelligent Design and Plot of Aliens, that goes into more details about the different species of the Nagaru. Does that help?
Tua. Thank you. Tawata.
Okay.
I have one more question, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just taking note of the book. Did you say the Plot of Aliens?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it myself right now. So it's called Intelligent Design or Plot of Aliens. I don't know if I have it here, but I'm looking. Yeah, go ahead. with your second question whilst I look for that.
Sure. So just on the back of that, then, you know, like I've been doing a lot of work with you all, and I guess there's a question sort of maybe more for the family, or as to just why is it so difficult for us to, does this have anything to do with why it's so difficult for us to actually get moving?
Yes.
And get things done, and actually, you know, because I always hear everyone sending their love, everybody, you know, has so much appreciation and appreciate love for what it is that you do and everyone does in the background, and how we come together and try to keep things moving. But you know, the reality is we need bodies on the ground, we need all hands on deck, we need, you know, like people actually lifting and moving. So
yeah,
I guess just, you know, I'm just trying to figure out why is it so.
Okay, I think I get your question.
Yeah.
The way the master explains it, he says many are called, few are chosen, right? Because and also in our proclamation, when you listen to the Partarot recordings on YouTube, right, it's not about talking, it's about the action. So he says, if you proclaim these, you know, what we call, we have an allegiance to being a Sabian or a Nuwapian, and if you proclaim that, then you have to show it by way of your actions. You have to become and live Wu-Sabat. You have to be that example in terms of what you're doing. You don't need to fake it, because people don't realize, when, like, the first question we had today was like, how do I get my barythry gland? People don't realize it takes work to get, like, anything that's worth anything, you have to put in the work. If you want to have a six-pack, you have to put in the work. If you want to build a school or a business or anything, you have to put in the work. And that's where the line is drawn, where you see those who talk and they give it all, I'm going to do this. We don't use the word going or trying. It's either you do or you don't. And when you look at the numbers, as you say, going back to the many are called and few are chosen, you see that we have thousands, we reach millions of people. But when it comes to that practical application of, are you actually representing Wu-Sabat? Are you representing the culture? Are you helping out in the stores? Are you helping to start classes? You know, because every little thing that you see is done by someone. And when you become that god or goddess, we like to say we're gods, we're great, we're this, we're that. Well, you have to wear the mask of God. You have to start to live in the image and likeness of God. Parnabab Yanun has shown us how it's done. And he has shown us that we are gods. And he's basically saying, you now have the reins. Remember, the master teacher is getting on in terms of his skin suit. And we have to build. He's shown us what to do and how to do it. So, honestly speaking, people can talk the talk, make the promises, but they say a promise is a comfort to a fool. And what we really need to do is see you at the stores worldwide, helping, see you contributing. You know, don't just say, yeah, we all want a better world, we want peace, we want love and harmony, and the master says love and unity will free him. Well, you can't be doing it in your bedroom by yourself. You see, so you got to come in, and those who work, you see them, we're visible. We're out there, we're doing what we're doing, but many hands do make light work. So yes, you're right. Even when we look at the Telegram group, we have nearly 3,000 people on there. But when it comes to turning up, showing up, you have to be in it to win it. And yeah, people, at the end of the day, you can't go by talk. You know, you have to walk that talk. And people start to make excuses. They start telling you what. This is another thing as well. It's like people say they can't because they're serving the oppressor, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're working all your hours and days for the oppressor, but you're still broke. and so you can't
Yeah.
contribute anything, but you're